Hello again and welcome to Shed Talk, my weekly magazine video series looking at the keeping, breeding and showing of cage birds with a particular focus on the exhibition style budgerigar. So as promised in the previous episode, in this episode we're going to do a full update on the breeding cages. Those of you who have watched regular will know that we now have 6 pairs down. We had at least 1 egg in the last episode. That has improved, so when we go around we'll have a look and see which pairs again are performing really well and which less so. Don't forget, I know most of you, or a lot of you, will now be looking at putting birds down, and I know some of you have been over on the Shed Talk Facebook page and have said that you've got eggs, and so if you are breeding at the moment, do go across to the Facebook page and let me know how you're getting on, or just put something in the comments of this video. It's always nice to know how everybody's breeding season is going. Of course, we do, like I say, we do have a Facebook page, so do go across there and have a look at that. If you enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit the like button. I've already mentioned, do of course comment either about how your breeding season's going or anything else. And of course don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All the subscriptions do help the channel to go and grow, and as I always say, or nearly always say, help promote the hobby a little bit more widely. So what we'll do now is we will have a full update on how each of the breeding cages, as is sort of customary when I do these breeding updates. We'll start at cage 1 and we'll work round towards cage number 6. So let's start with cage 1 then. As I say, we're going to start with pair 1, and this is the light green dominant pied that we got off of Terry Sadler. You may remember this is a slightly older bird, and we were hoping to get at least 1 round of 1 or 2 rounds off of this bird this year. And we paired it to a cinnamon light green bird, and this bird bred really well for me last year. I think it was crossed to the cobalt, bred a couple of really nice looking hens, so we know the hen is fertile, and so that was my thinking behind putting it in with this slightly older dominant pied bird. Well, so far this pair have laid 5 eggs. You can see those eggs in this picture here. I've candled the first one of those, and I can confirm that that first egg is clear. In fact, if you look at the picture of the eggs, you can see that they are generally a nice almost pearly white colour. So my expectation is that at least egg 2 and egg 3 look to me like they're also going to be full, and we will candle those eggs as the candle date becomes due. So really pleased with the way pair 1 has gone. Like I say, slightly older hen, slightly older cock. We weren't sure if we were going to get any a round off of this particular cock bird, but he seems to be filling the eggs really well. Like I said, I have seen the cock bird mating with the hen as well, which just goes to show and proves. So he's proving himself with this particular hen. So good news all round. I think with pair 1, we've got full eggs off of that slightly older cock bird, and we've now got that new blood, fresh blood into the shed. So I think the hen I believe is from the green family. So once again that will sort of help in terms of that particular family grouping. So good news for pair 1. What about pair 2? So pair 2 is also another bird we got from Terry Sadler, and it's the Lutino that we crossed to an opaline cinnamon light green hen that was slightly tipped. The hen is from the green family, so once again this pair, should we get anything off them, we'll go back into the green family. Now you may remember that I did say that this pair didn't seem to be bonding particularly well, and we were and ahhing, and I know someone suggested that I stop the hens from seeing the birds either side, and I was thinking about doing that. However, the hen began to clear the nest box out, and the pair seem to be growing slightly closer together. I have seen some mutual preening between them. I've not seen the cockbird mate with the hen, and I wouldn't say they were, all lovey-dovey all of the time, but like I did say, there has been some mutual preening on there. And the hen has now laid her first egg. This egg took a little bit of a while to come in comparison with the other pairs that we put down at the same time as this pair. So the other pair 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is a bit later. I haven't had a chance to candle it. You can see it here. Is it likely to be full? I really don't know. I don't know. But at least this pair is bonded. At least the hen's gone down and laid. Remember last year this hen didn't go in the nest box at all. I said I thought she might be slightly too young. So there is some hope here that that we've got a pair. I might get something off this Lutino cockbird, which one again is slightly older cockbird and I don't know. It is possible, as I say, it's possible that we'll get something off it, but we'll have to wait and see, because as I did say, they took a little while for this egg to be laid, and they have taken a while to bond. So that's pair 2. At least we've got eggs from pair 2, so at least the hen is laying. Yet to find out whether they're full. So far pair 1, really good news. Full eggs and lots of them, and pair 2, at least we've got at least 1 egg so far. So moving on then to pair number 3. This is another outcross bird. It's the older cockbird that we got off of Mr. Rick Watts, and we paired this one to a yellow-faced grey. The yellow-faced grey is actually from the blue family. So if we produce anything, these will go back into the blue family. You can see here that they actually have started laying, the hen started laying. We so far have 3 eggs, and what's interesting about this pair was the hen laid 2 eggs over a period of 2 days. Then there was a pause of about 5 days, 4 to 5 days, and now she started laying again. And the first egg is definitely clear, and I think the second egg is clear. So I don't know whether she started laying before they had got fully bonded, and whether the latter eggs, the cockbird will have filled those. So whether the slight break was the cockbird filling eggs, I don't know. It's not something that I've had happen very often. Occasionally I will get a pause in eggs being laid, but we will have to wait and see. Like I say, the first egg is clear, but I am reasonably hopeful for this pair. They show lots of affection towards each other. As soon as she comes out of the nest box, when I put the soft food in there and when I'm checking it, the cockbird is very attentive to her, feeds her, and shows a lot of interest. So I'm hoping that the latter eggs, if I want to call them that, I suppose, so the eggs that have laid in the second batch, some of those may be full, but as I say, we will have to wait and see. So again, cage 3, reasonably happy. We've got eggs and we've got a cockbird and a hen that are fully bonded. Just got to wait and see now if those latter eggs, if the cockbird has managed to fill them. Right, so that is pair 3. We'll move on and have talk about pair 4, which is the last of the pairs that we put down in that first initial grouping, and you may remember was the first pair to start laying. So as I said, pair 4 was the first pair that started laying. In fact, we had eggs in when we did the last episode, and this pair is the cobalt that bred very, very well for me last year. He was paired to the hen that's in cage 1, the one that's on full eggs, and yeah, so he was filling eggs as if it was going out of fashion. So he, almost every round, I think he had 3 rounds, and almost every egg was full. So and we paired him to an opaline cinnamon yellow face grey. As I say, started to lay very quickly. So far they've laid 5 eggs. You can see them here, and you can probably tell when you look at these eggs, I hope you can see it in the picture, that they're not a very nice colour. They look dull, and they've gone, most of the early eggs in particular are about that very grey colour, which is a sure sign that these eggs are clear, or that they're embryo developing inside it has died. And I can confirm that the first 2 eggs from this pair are clear. Yet to check the rest of them. The latter eggs, I must think that 4 and 5, still a bit early to tell, but they do look, to my eye, like they look a bit more healthy. So it may be that the cockbird just, the hen went down very, very quickly, as we say, and he had eggs very, very quickly, that the cockbird hadn't filled those early eggs, and that he's filling the latter ones. Again, we'll have to wait and see. We know the cockbird's fertile, and so if the hen's fertile as well, then we should get some full eggs off this pairing, but we will have to wait and see. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but this is from the blue family of birds, and it's the first pair that are both my birds. So of the first 4 pairs that we put down, those early pairs that we put down, we've got one on eggs, and they all appear to be full. We've got one pair that has only just started to lay, and we're not sure about. We've got the pair in cage 3 that have got a few eggs and seem to be, laying, and then they paused and now started laying again, and the first egg is clear. And we've got 5 eggs in cage 4, of which at least the first 2 are clear, but we're hopeful for the remainder of that round, or certainly the latter egg of that round. We'll have to wait and see. So what about pair 5 and pair 6? And these these pairs were put down at a slightly different time to the first 4. In fact, there was about a week almost in between these 2 pairs as well. So we'll move on and have a quick talk about pair 5 and see how that pair's getting on. So pair 5 then, this is another pair that's off of the green family, and is a light green cockbird which we paired to a dark green hen. This pair doing really well for me at the moment, I think. They've so far laid a total of 4 eggs, so they went down really quickly. You may remember this pair had paired up in the main flight, and we were unsure whether to pair the hen to a sky blue, which was the father of the cobalt in cage number 4, or to this light green. And when we looked, the hen was too closely related to the sky blue, so we thought we'd pair it to the light green. And because they were already, virtually paired up in the main flight, I said it was a bit of a love pairing. The hen went down very, very quickly to into the nest box, and we have 4 eggs, I believe, off of this pair. So 4 eggs have been laid. Interestingly enough, this pair is slightly out of sync with the others. The others all seem to be laying on even days, and this pair is laying on the odd days. You can see the eggs here. I haven't candled any of them yet, and I'm not sure if this is coming across in the video, but all of the eggs look very, very healthy. If I compare these eggs to the colour of the eggs in cage number 4, the ones we've just seen, you can see the difference. In fact, I'll try and do a little side-by-side view of that so that you can see the difference between the colour of the eggs. These all look turning that very nice pearly white colour. So I am, touch wood, you know, we're going to candle the first one of these eggs tomorrow, so, and touch wood, I think we've got full eggs in this particular box. I would be very, very surprised if the eggs in this cage are not full. So pair 5 looks like it's going really, really well for this particular pair. And like I say, another from the green family birds that this will go to. So looking good for pair 5, not too bad at all. What about pair number 6, which was the last of the pairs that we've put down? So pair 6, and this is a pair that they've probably been down in the cage for just over a week, I think, perhaps, or just under a week, somewhere around that. And in this pair, or in this cage, we've got a grey-green cockbird, cinnamon grey-green cockbird off of the grey family, and we've paired that to the cobalt opaline that we got from Mr. Bob McCabe. You may remember that bird bred the opaline cinnamon sky blue that got the CC for me at Swindon. So I know she can produce some quite nice birds, and I do like the two grey brothers, and this is the better of the two grey-green brothers that we bred not last year, the year before. So but we didn't get any chicks off them last year, probably a little bit too young, and you may remember we had a few problems with the hens, whatever hen we put them to. So I say they've only been down a week. The hen has been in the nest box and started to clear it. You can see that here, so spinning there and had a good look at it. There's not a massive amount of relationship going on between the cockbird and the hen. They do sit next to each other. Cockbird occasionally I've seen him preening the hen showing not that much interest in him. So it may be that these two will take a little while to pair up. The hen is getting on a little bit now. It may be that she's a little bit too old to breed. So while she did breed for me in the last breeding season, she only had, I think it was a total of 3 eggs out of the 2 rounds that were full, and actually only raised 2 chicks. So it may be that she's at the end of her her breeding age. She may have gone beyond that. So but I will give this pair a chance to go, give them another week or another 2 weeks just to see if we do get anything. And if after that we don't, I'll take her out, and I've got another couple of hens in the main flight that I will replace her with for this particular cockbird. So there we go. That's a quick roundup of the 6 cages. Pleased to say that 5 of the 6 cages we've got eggs, and I think at least 2 of those cages where we've got eggs, we've got full eggs, and we're hopeful for a couple of the others. So reasonable start to the breeding season, I think. I can't really complain of that. I've had much worse starts where I've had, you know, pairs not do anything for ages, and had to split them, and I've had, you know, put the birds down and they've all been clear for the whole period. So not too bad start to the breeding season. As I said at the beginning, do let me know how your breeding season's going as well. So that's it in terms of a roundup of the breeding cages. So what else has been going on then in here in the main budgerigar shed? Well, I think you can probably just make out behind me the 4 breeding cages, wooden breeding cages that we used last year that were not used in this year. I've now stripped those down and I've given their initial clean, so I've got the disinfectant out and I've cleaned them all down, scrubbed them as best I can for now, and then I sprayed them all with anti-mite treatment just to make sure that they're all nice and clear. What they will do next week is get another scrub out with disinfectant to make sure they are thoroughly clean, and I will give them another treatment of the anti-mite. After that, my intention is probably going to be to just give those another quick lick of paint just to freshen them up completely, and then these cages will hold the hundreds and hundreds of young baby birds that we're going to get off the budgerigars this year. I exaggerate, of course, but any youngsters that we get, because we're using what was the old nappy flight for the older birds, so the birds that either going to go in a sale or going to spend the rest of their time in there. We now needed to find somewhere for the youngsters to go, and there is plenty of room in there for the young birds. Don't forget there's two fairly large, long flight cages when there's no nest boxes in there. So that's what I plan to use for the youngsters. So I've started to clean those out and get those ready. The other thing that I've done is I have ordered my rings from the Budgerigar Society. I think I've ordered them in time to get them posted out by the 30th of November. So hopefully I will get those at the beginning of December, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get rings on those early chicks, those first chicks. Bit worried about the ones, those ones that are in cage 1, the first full eggs that are in there. But you know, we might just, with a bit of luck, manage to get some this year's rings on those. Certainly the later hatch ones, I'm almost certain we'll get this year's rings on those birds. So, well, that's really it from in here. We're not going to go outside into the finch and fife light in this episode. What we will do is we'll do that in the next episode, and what I will also do is get the young fifes out and we will have a look at them in the show cages in here, probably, where there's a bit more room and a bit more light in terms of being able to look at them. And I'll go through my initial assessment of the 6 youngsters that we got with those fifes. In the next episode also we'll have a look at how I did at the fife show that's on this weekend. Still waiting on the cage labels, hoping they arrive in time. So we'll have a look at that show. So it will be mainly focused on the fifes. I'll probably give a very brief update on anything that's going on in the budgerigar breeding as well. But that's probably just about all we've got time for in this episode, other than taking a quick look at the Oxford 1910 Butler Trophy, the birds were at then. So we'll finish with a quick look at the Butler Trophy birds. I would say, unfortunately, I was out all weekend, so didn't get a chance to get any birds entered in there, but there were a good number of birds out there and some absolutely stunning examples, particularly in the foreign section, but also there were a couple of nice budgerigars there, as well as some really nice looking lizards, canaries and Irish canaries. So we'll finish off by letting you see those birds, and you can judge for yourself exactly what they were like. But until the next time, as always, do stay safe, enjoy your birds.